Hello again out there, fellow vaporers around the world. This is, this is Paul Zona coming to you again from partly cloudy, partly sunny, Hereford, Pennsylvania. Today's date is September 9, 2014. It's about 5 minutes to 3 in the afternoon. And today, folks, we have the brand new news. I just wanted to show you a device I ordered about, 3 weeks ago. Actually 4 weeks ago. And I received it about a week and a half ago, I guess, from FastTech. I ordered it from FastTech. This is a thing, it's called the VAMO V5 transformer. This is a VAMO V5 transformer. Now, this is not the one that they sell in Germany. This is my version of the 5S transformer, okay, the VAMO 5S transformer. It has some nice new features on the VAMO head right here. This is called the head. On the VAMO itself, up on the top, it's got some nice new features that most of, I think all the newer V5s are being made this way. I'm not sure, but I believe they are. Over in Germany, it seems to be quite popular because if you go on YouTube, you'll see quite a few German reviews, and there's a couple good ones on there in German about a thing called the VAMO 5S transformer. When you buy them over there, you buy them in one box. It comes already assembled. It's made by a company called KSD. They have their own head. They have their own battery power supply, which is actually called a mechanical mod. That's what this is. It's actually two mods in one. So what I did is I didn't like the mod. I didn't like the KSD mod, and so I went along with a small mod. I'm going to separate this and show you what it's like. This is the when you order this and you want to make it yourself, you can use just about any kind of mechanical mod that you have, as long as it's got that 510 connector on the top, the mechanical mod. I'll show you this. This is the VAMO head. This is the controller. This is the actual controller that you have on the regular VAMO. It's the same thing, except what they did is they put a brass plate with a 510 connector on the bottom, and they made these special things so you can connect them to a mechanical mod or any straight voltage out ego connector or something like that, right? You can't put a variable voltage in the bottom of this thing because this is variable voltage or variable wattage, right? It has to be just a power supply, like a battery with a switch on it, or mechanical mod. This is a mechanical mod. This is a small one. This is the mechanical mod is actually made by a company called Atom or AVP or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, this is a clone. This is not the original Atom. This is the clone of the Atoms. It's made almost identical to the Atom. It works identically to the real Atom, and it works nice. This is the mechanical mod. That's your 510 connector on the top. This is your switch on the bottom. There's a switch there on the bottom. That round section in the middle is your switch. Now on this thing here, this has got some nice new features in it. I think all the newer VAMO V5s are being made this way. I'm not too certain, but you can check it out. This one here has got what they call a floating spring-loaded positive contact. See that pin in there? It's like a brass cylinder. See, it's up and down. It's not a regular cap like most of your VAMOs or egos or anything like that. This is a spring-loaded, and it's always pointing up. It's always pushed up. So no matter what you put in here, it slowly pushes that thing down because it's spring-loaded, and it's always making contact with the bottom of your pin. And whatever you're turning in there does not turn in hard at all. It doesn't give you any stiff feeling when you turn some of your devices in there. It doesn't give you that stiff feeling anymore. The threads are pretty nice on it. I'll show you what I mean. A tank. Put your tank in. And it simply goes in there pretty easily. No pressure. That's in. It's all the way in. There's no pressure. You can do that with cartomizers, atomizers, whatever. Because of that new floating pin in there, right there. It's up and down. It goes up and down. The VAMO menu has been changed in May of 2014. I'm going to show you what this looks like when you power it on. Now, in order to use the mechanical mod with the power constantly coming out, you gotta make a contact on the bottom of the inside of the switch. So I have to use a homemade contact. See, but on some mechanical mods they allow you to take that rubber washer out, that little black rubber washer. Some of them have plastic rings, silicone rings. And some of them can be taken out very easily and put back in again, popped in again. Well, this one doesn't come out. I don't know why, but it doesn't come out. Anyway, I made this contact on the bottom, and you put I'm using a 350 battery. Now, with that positive contact in there, it's always on. It is always on. So I leave this bottom locked so it's flat, so I can set it down on the table. Right? But now there's power coming out of that thing right there. There's actually power in there. I'm going to use this to power up the head. There you go. The first thing you see is the word VAMO in big letters. It still hasn't been turned on yet. You still have to click it on. Okay, now the menu has been changed. I'll show you the new menu. The first number 1. Well, actually, this one here, when you hold this button down, about 10 to 12 seconds, you're going to wind up with your RMS or your means mode. When you first buy this one, it does not come RMS. It comes in mean, which is mean it's inaccurate mode. Okay. So you're going to have to hold that down until it goes RMS, which is the accurate mode. Okay, and it also has an ohm reader over here. Of course, most of them do on this button here. But now I'll show you some of the new menus. The first menu, number 1, is basically the same. It's power on, or voltage, or power or voltage output. Voltage or power output, right? I use power. So then you go to the next button, number 2. That's what you come up with, time. Time on, time off. Time is something new. It's when you push the fire button, it starts running down in microseconds. You see it going speeding by here in microseconds when you push that button down. That allows you to time yourself on how long your actual draws are, or how long you're taking vapor in through the device or something. They were going to put a puff counter on there, but they did away with it. They didn't go through with it. But they have this timer on here now. I don't use it. I don't even use it. Let me see. I'm going to make sure it's off. Okay, I have it off. Yeah. Okay. And number 3 is still the same. LCD on, LCD off. LCD on, off. I keep it off. Okay, here's a neat thing. Now, when you put a tank on here, this also has a new menu, a new lettering on the OLED screen for the when you click to go up or down on your voltage or your wattage. It's not small like the old one was. It's quite big. The numbers are quite big. When you put your tank on, I'll show you something. Whatever you put on here, it's going to read the resistance. Okay. Now it reads the resistance right here. Okay, this one's at 2.2 ohm. This tank runs at 2.2 ohm. It's got a dual coil on this one. It's a dual coil BCD, right? Okay. Now, when that reads at 2.2 ohm, whatever the resistance is, it's going to show up on this next thing I'm going to show you. They did away with the small numbers when you hold the thing down, you know, and an LCD comes on and all this. It shows you what you want to do on battery or resistance or voltage or whatever it is. Well, they did away with that. That was at number 2. That was number 2 on the menu, right? Well, they got rid of that. Now, when you click on this button, it shows you 3 things. It shows you either the wattage or the voltage that you're set it for. It shows you a battery indicator. It's back and forth. It shows you a battery indicator telling you if it's full or almost empty. And it also shows you a little, right in this corner here, I think it is, right here in this corner, it will show you the resistance that you just set. I'll show you what I mean, see? Oh, is it turned on? Yeah. I forgot to set the LCD on. Hold on a minute. I forgot about that. I have the LCD off. Okay, now it's on. Okay. That was my mistake. I had the LCD turned off. Okay, here's what you're going to see. You'll see the setting. I have mine set, well, it's too high. I like to run mine at 8.5. I set mine at 8.5 watts. See how big those letters are, those numbers? And then down the bottom here, that white line is actually your battery indicator. And over here in the corner, right there, shows you the resistance. It shows you all 3 at the same time whenever you push that button. You have to have it set up for that. That's the timer not on, because if you have the timer on, it's gonna, every time you push that button, you'll see the numbers run down. You won't see that. So I keep the timer off. I have no use for it. Anyway, this is the VAMO 5S transformer. My version of the VAMO 5S transformer. You can use just about any kind of mechanical mod on this head, as long as it's got that 510 connector, right? This battery, this little mod works with either a 18350, an 18500, or an 18650. You should not use, in my opinion, you shouldn't use an 18650 battery with this head on a mechanical mod, because that means you're going to have to go into what they call a telescope mod. This is actually a telescoping mod. You're going to have to use the telescoping portion of the mechanical mod, and it's going to make the VAMO way too big. It's going to look like a lightsaber. Yeah, it'll actually look like a lightsaber, because it's going to make it about that much longer than what it is now on an 18650. So I don't use it. This is the same size as a regular VAMO in 18650 mode. This is an 18650 mode right here on a regular VAMO. This is the 18350 right now. Look how big this is. It's almost as big as a regular VAMO. Right there, see it? It's almost as big as a regular VAMO. That's an 18350 mode. When you put an 18500 in here, it should be about the same. So anyway, I'm going to start using 18500s and 18350s. I'm going to do away with the 18650s for this one. Let's see how she vapes. No. You know, this tank's got an airflow system in it. This is called the Aero tank. It's a clone of the Aero tank. It's really nice. It's stainless steel and glass. It's got you use it as a dual coil exchangeable coil. It has a dual coil by Kanger. It's really nice. I like this one. It's really nice. I got some RY4 in here. Works pretty good. I think this coil is about. I had this coil in here for about 2 weeks. It's I mean off and on. You know, I cleaned it a couple of times, and I think it's going weak on me already. Unless, of course, let me see if I can boost this up. I'll jack it up. Yeah, it's not putting out much vapor. So anyway, but this is a nice device. This is really nice. It's a little weighty. It's got a good airflow. This tank has a controlled airflow, but because of that pin, that floating spring-loaded pin, you get a lot of airflow in there. It's really nice. You don't have that flat cap pushing up against your the bottom of the cartomizer or whatever you have in there. You don't have that flat cap in there anymore, pushing up against the bottom of it because it's not that wide. It's on the narrow side. See that? Right there. The first one I've ever seen like this was about 2 years ago when I first got the thing called the Apollo V-tube. They were the ones that actually had the spring-loaded positive contact years ago. And I was saying when I first got my VAMO V2 about 1.5 years ago, I said, man, I wish they would have something like a floating positive pin contact in there. That'd be great. It'd be a nice device, but they never did. I wrote letters to Kanger, and I wrote letters to not Kanger, KSB, and I wrote some letters to Alibaba and these companies over in China, and they never changed it. It's about time they finally changed it. It's really a nice addition to it. I like that. That's your VAMO 5S transformer, and the ones that you'll see in the German reviews, if you watch them, the ones you'll see in the German reviews are basically KSD transformers. That's the way they sell them. They have their own mechanical mod, and they have their own head. This one here, this mechanical mod's a clone. The head, I think, is KSD. This, I believe, is KSD. But the bottom part is not. It's a clone. So that's my version of the VAMO 5S transformer. It can use different devices. It uses 18, well, I wouldn't suggest it, but it can use an 18650 battery if you want to sit at home. Don't take it out. It'd be too big. Sit at home. You can't use in the mechanical mod, you actually can't stack 18350 batteries. I tried it. There's not enough room in those things. They're made just to handle an 18650 battery and no bigger. So you can't actually stack the 18350s. Okay, and you can use 18350, 18500, 18650. If you have, now let's take this apart. I want to show you something quick. I'm going to take this off. On the mechanical mod, I'll show you something. On the mechanical mod, it comes like this. That's how it comes, just like that, right? Now I'm going to show you something. This thing here is a switch. And how this thing works is it actually pushes the switch up, and the battery sets right on top of the washer. The battery sets right on top of the washer and does not make contact with that center pin. When you push that pin up in the middle, it makes contact with the battery. That's how you fire it. Right? Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to take the battery out. I just want to show you something. Now, if you want to fire, say, like a cartomizer, or you want to use let's say you want to use an ego, something with ego. The only way you can use an ego on this one, most of your mechanical mods are made with just the 510. The KSD has the 510, and it has a well on their mechanical mod. It's got a well, looks almost like a VAMO, and you can actually put an ego with it. Well, most of your mechanical mods are made like this with the 510. So in order to use an ego connector, you have to use one of these. You just screw it right in there. Like so. And then you take like this. And let's see if I can get this thing. Let's see if I can just let it smoke a little bit anyway. I don't think I think the ohms might be, I think the numbers on the ohms are too big for this one. Let me try it once. Yeah, it's not enough power for this, this is too much power. I mean, see, now, right now the voltage on this battery is down to about 3.9. That's why it's not pushing it. Anyway, that was the VAMO V5 transformer. Now they do have different heads you can order. They have the 2S, 3S, 4S, and the 5S. And I think they only come in brushed. I'm not sure. You have to check on that. I think they only come in brushed stainless steel. I'm going to take this off. Oh, I'm going to take this thing off. I got to take this off. Okay, that's the VAMO V5 transformer. It's not a bad unit to get a hold of, just the head. If you have the mechanical mod, all you need is the head. Then you have a VAMO. Yep. Then you have a VAMO. The head, because of all the new technology and then the floating contact and the new menu and the work that went into it, the clone is, if you buy a clone, it's going to cost you around, it'll run you about $27. Right. But there you have it. This is my version of the VAMO V5 transformer. You ought to check it out. It's really nice. Yeah. There you have it. VAMO V5 transformer. I think they started to get popular about 6 months ago over in Europe. They're quite popular in Europe, but not spoken of too much over here. So now you might get some word. That's the VAMO V5 transformer. This one is KSD and also clone of the Atom. And check it out. You can check out the internet and find out where you can go for it. I got most of my stuff over at FastTech. They're reasonable. The shipping is free, I believe. And they got some pretty nice stuff over there. You ought to check out FastTech. Okay, that's it for me. Gotta be going. Well, I want to wish you all out there happy vaping, and keep on vaping, brothers and sisters. Keep on vaping.